Hey everybody, got another video here for you. So you saw the first pass, and I'm about to do the fourth and final pass now, which will bring it down to 21.4 millimeters, including the frets. So as you can see, I did something a little different this time. I carried the trapezoid profile, all the way to the top edge of the fingerboard instead of the bottom. So the sides of the fingerboard are part of the neck profile, a la Ken Parker and his arch tops. This thing with taking the profile all the way to the top edge of the fingerboard, I did do that on one previous build. I think it was guitar number 3. And yeah, that guitar it was special, man. It was, not only did it have this kind of a detail, but the entire body was all rounded. Everything on it was really rounded over, at least at one point in time. It eventually got replaced with flame maple, but at one point in time, but it still had the neck like this. So, but anyway, so the neck has been recarved here, and now I have to figure out the headstock, and that's gonna depend on the ferrules, which is going to depend on the truss rod cover, which is going to depend on the nut. So I need to like test install the nut and see where the truss rod cover ends up in relation, and then figure out where the ferrules go. That'll let me know what's left to work with for headstock, for reshaping and things like that. And the very first step in at least test fitting the nut is to set the fret plane flat so that I can figure out if it's going to need shim or what's going on. Hopefully I'll be able to just slap it in there, but it was like that on the last build, so maybe I'll luck out again. I have to say that this is only the second neck I've used the microplane in order to shape it. And come here, microplane. And yeah, I'm really impressed with the microplane. It's even more aggressive and therefore faster than the coarse side of a Shinto, and yet it leaves a really, really nice finish because it's all like little razor blades. So yeah, I mean, this thing is like, it feels like it's already been block sanded. It's so flat. And then, what was the other thing that I wanted to mention? Hold on a sec. Oh, the neck profile. Taking the neck profile to the top edge of the fingerboard, it really makes a difference. It's like as soon as I grabbed this thing, it was like, oh yeah, I remember this. This is way Guitar 3 was. It's, wow. It's like half the neck is gone. It's very cool. But yet you've still got everything on the top end that you need. And see, it hasn't even been rolled yet, and it's still already comfortable and stuff. So, and I haven't done the fretwork or anything. Yeah, that's going to be wonderful. So, I've been checking this out some more, and albeit aside, from a player's point of view, this profile is like hand in a velvet glove, as AC/DC says. It's just ultra wow. Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. What's the handshake like? That's going to be good too. Yeah. It's going to be great. It'll be incredible once it's rolled. Okay. figured out where I want the truss rod cover to be. Right about there. And I also figured out that it doesn't really matter about where the nut is, because you can just cut the bottom end of the truss rod cover off to match. So, but before I figured that out, I discovered that this back shelf is a little high and tends to kick the nut too much this way, so the front face isn't flush with the fingerboard. So that's going to have to be filed down a little bit. And then the whole thing after that's filed down to correct the nut angle is going to have to be shimmed up probably about 1 millimeter or so in order to get the proper nut slot height. So, but that's really neither here nor there at this point. What's important is that's where the truss rod cover goes, which means that here's where the ferrules will go, something like that. And this tape line runs right along the edges of the holes. And then there's a line right here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a, wait a sec. Make this a little clearer. You just run from the bottom edge of this hole to this corner here, just like that. And so, yeah, this is what I'm going to cut off, just that and that, which will leave this little corner here and what you see in red. And that's going to be the shape of the headstock. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm not going to bevel it or anything or make it pointier or anything like that. I'm just going to sand it clear because it's going to be a natural finish. And I think that'll look okay. I think it'll look okay in a kind of simplistic, modern kind of a way. And once again, it's going to get stained to match the cedar, so it might look pretty nice if the stain turns out nice. Dye, actually, not stain. Every time I get ready to cut one of these things, I feel guilty because they're so pretty. Yep, those both went in nice and clean, no issues. Didn't hit the truss rod, didn't get into the fingerboard. Just the way it's supposed to be. Okay, all done power sanding. And yeah, it's all got all the surfaces smooth and sanded off the paint from the headstock and sanded all the clear coat off of it. And then I rounded all the edges on the headstock, front and back, rounded all the corners, and yeah, got everything, got all the paint off, sanded it real good because I would have to restain it, so I had to get all the way down past the sealer to the wood itself. I'm pretty sure I did that. And then one more thing I did was I took the sander and I ran it at the same angle as the fret bevel on the side here in order to make a slight bevel on the top edge, because it was real sharp, since that was where the neck profile came all the way up to. That was real sharp, and the ends of the frets were a little on the sharp side. So I just ran the sander back and forth across it at the same angle that the bevel is cut on the ends of the frets, and that put just a little bit of a bevel on the edge, and that cleaned up the ends of the frets as far as sharpness goes pretty good. So now I'll just be able to do the normal knock down the bottom corners and roll it kind of thing. So yeah, and I didn't film that, but that actually technically is a fretwork step and not a sanding step. So I thought I'd better mention that. But other than that, yeah, I guess it's ready for stain. Dye. I keep saying stain. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. So, until the next one, everybody, have a good one.